years, like yeah, if he's still doing trees, that's kind of his thing. You know what I'm saying? But like said, like somebody's forced to have to try to paint bushes.
True.
Or
let me throw a scenario since we're just talking about artistry, and this is my topic, so I love it. So an artist is usually defined because they are original or they come with some work of art that you can look at and be like, yo, that's dope. So we'll take not to say it's a dope piece of art. Let's just take the Mona Lisa, for example, right?
Yeah.
Whoever Picasso or whoever painted it, Rembrandt, I don't know who painted it. They paint the Mona Lisa. Then I come and paint it. Then another 4 or 5 brothers paint the same picture.
Yeah.
Then the whole West Coast paints the picture. Then the whole East Coast paints the picture. At what point in time does it stop becoming art and just become a reproduction of what somebody else did? Because if you're an artist, in my opinion, part of art is originality. Yeah. It's coming up with new concepts, is breaking new ground. It's not just continuing to demonstrate the same thing that the brother before you demonstrated. You feel me?
Yeah.
But, so go ahead.
Well, but a lot of ways is like that person paves the way, and that person was able to, is on a different tax bracket.
Right.
They got money, they got wealth, whatever they're looking for. So a lot of people try to emulate that. I'm gonna do that because Yo Gotti's on there talking about whatever. So I gotta write a song just like Yo Gotti. Yeah. But the thing about it, Yo Gotti controls that lane. So I want to go write a song just like Tech Nine. But the thing is, Tech has already filled those shoes. I want to be like Rich the Factor now, but Rich is already there. It's almost like if you're a rapper right now, it's like jumping on the highway during rush hour traffic. Nobody's going to want to move over. It's gridlock. It's slow. So what you have to do is find another lane. You got to get off the highway. But you got a clothing line or you got a liquor or you see most rappers right now, they know we're not making money off selling music. Yeah.
Music is like my business card. Hey, check this out. If you like it, then we can work together. Yeah, we'll work together. Either we can do a feature, we can do music together, or you can, I come through your spot or do whatever. But nobody's really buying music now. Music is free, download, it is what it is. And so be creative as possible right now. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do it, do it. But we got a lot of people that love to follow and not to lead. So we got a lot of people repainting that same picture. What's up, T baby?
Hi.
It's good to have you here on a Tuesday.
Is my mic on?
I can't hear you in the headphone.
Can you hear me in the headphone?
I hear you perfect, bro. And so we got to acknowledge some of our people. I just want to say thank you, Danita, for tapping in. And anybody else who's tapped in, make sure you share it, like it. We can really make this thing happen, bro. You hear me? Yeah, we got callers and all kind of stuff happening. All right. That's right. Let's do it. Said pan the camera. I think we on here, right? Yeah, here we go.
Hi, y'all. How y'all doing today?
Hey, T baby.
Nice for you to join.
T baby.
I know.
Glad to see you. Made it.
Don't try to say made it. I've been here.
You wasn't on camera.
To get some stuff together. I was here though.
I can vouch for that. I will be your witness. T baby's always here on time, ahead of time. We got a caller. All right, caller. Appreciate you calling in. This is the Truth Be Told. What say you?
Islam, first of all.
Islam, young. Let me make sure I recognize this boy. Who am I speaking with today? First of all,
this is Claudius Young Ill.
Young Ill, how are you, Young Ill?
Oh, this is great. I had a question for you, though.
Absolutely.
How many lines do you have?
How many lives or lines? I couldn't hear you.
Lines, L-I-N-E-S. Because I wanted to three-way this sister that's supposed to be giving this presentation here this evening.
Well, we can't.
Live.
I got you.
Like to enlighten the community with a way to educate and get paid at the same time.
Okay. Well, empowerment, things like that. I think what we probably are doing today, we are taking comments, so you can kind of throw it out there, let the people know what's going on. You got some financial advice for us? What you trying to say?
Yes, but me myself not being the kind of.
You're gonna have to speak up just a little bit, Young Ill. I don't know if our audience can hear you.
Well, I don't know if who I was going to bring on. You know, I was going to three-way, and she can just come right on and give a better presentation than I'm able to. She's got years of experience over me. So, what it is, though, it's a platform where you can join.
Okay.
Our Markets Live. You know, I've sent out numerous emails.
Okay.
About, you can Google this Our Markets Live presentation. You can Google it.
Okay.
And you can get that. You know, the whole presentation.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? Because we only got a finite amount of time, and we got several topics we want to cover in that time. So what I want you to do is, I don't know if you can do it, but put the link on the YouTube page. Everybody can see it. Then they can go in, and then what we'll do is we'll get a special segment together when we know we can talk to her and it's already set up. I don't want to waste a lot of time because we always run out of time. We have so much conversation. So we appreciate you calling in, Mo. And what we'll do is we'll share that link on how we can educate people financially, and then we'll have a show on that because it sounds like a bigger topic than just a couple of 5 minutes.
Peace.
All right. Well, it was my understanding was wrong then because I thought everything had been rearranged and you're supposed
well, we do have a show
for a future 3 weeks.
We have a show and you could call in and definitely talk, but we don't. We move very rapidly, so we don't stay on one topic for a long time.
No love lost, brother man.
Islam.
There's gonna be another time.
We'll make it happen. I appreciate the call and keep on staying tuned and put that in the comments. The link.
Okay. The link.
Yeah, wherever you want the people to go to, you can put that right there and they can see it.
Right where? I just go to KUAW.
That's right. Yep. And you make a comment. Put that in the comment.
.org.
Put it in the comment. If you go to search on your Facebook and just start putting KUA, it'll pop up, and then put that link in the comment and hit share.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Gotcha. All right. Peace, brother.
Hey, T, baby. You know you're on camera, right?
I don't care.
You know you're on camera, right?
Like we enjoy.
Why are you shaking your head?
No, cause you're gonna egg that on. I apologize.
I wasn't egging nothing on. I'm trying to be professional.
We apologize about that.
What's your first topic? Let's go.
We do have a future show coming up on that. We are gonna talk about economics in our community and what we do. Can I get a phone charger? And what we do, what we can do different for our community, different things we can do. So yeah.
So come on, rock with it. What you got? I know you got some wonderful topics for us today.
Somebody calling.
That's okay.
No.
With who?
Who's setting up interviews?
No.
Nah, okay. We haven't, but
who's setting up interviews?
I did not set it up for today. Yes, that's crazy. I'm high.
I'm my extension cord. But we do got to jump into a topic. I know our people is waiting. I was talking
about the Drake and the Pusha T. Dang, my phone got
see if you could stretch it. Here's a cord over here somewhere, I'm sure.
Y'all want me to chime in on?
Yeah, what you think about Drake and Push?
Okay, so I think it was both of them were kind of cool. They take you back to a different time back in rap where they actually had rap beefs and stuff like that. It was very entertaining. I was surprised that Drake hadn't responded yet.
He did respond. No, Drake went in.
He ain't responded since when? Today?
Oh, well, Drake went in the last time. He killed Push to me.
No, Push had another one though when he came out talking about his son.
Man, I'm just talking about. See, rap is to me is an art, right? Yeah. It's an art form, and Drake is a better artist to me than Pusha T is. Pusha T can rap, but he's okay. You know, he's aight. He's still talking about what happened to that boy. You know, that type of stuff. That was 20 years ago.
But but he's got a lane, and the reason he is
what's his lane?
Because it's what he does. He has a core
high class.
He ain't trying to get that. He ain't trying to get that white dollar. He got his core fans, and he gonna make music that they want to hear.
Right, but that's that.
I wish Lil Wayne still made music from like that 09.
Right, but then you get to. But I guess what I'm saying is, can you be an artist on your own without, you know what I'm saying, go knock somebody else down? I'm not saying that they shouldn't, because beef is part of rap. You know, if you can't handle yourself lyrically, you probably shouldn't be in the rap game. Or if you got thin skin, probably shouldn't be in the rap game. But I'm looking for somebody to snap on lyrics. Like, I know Drake has a son and his name is Aubrey, and you know she was a stripper.
You didn't know that she's a porn star.
I don't even care. That's the problem.
A soft porn star.
That's the problem. It's irrelevant. That doesn't even matter.
That was my whole thing with Pusha T's response. Like, my thing of it is, if that man wants to keep his son private, that's his prerogative.
For sure.
Like, just because. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Then nobody have to know. He ain't got to come out to the world like, "Hey, I'm Drake and I got a son."
I had a relationship with Peaches.
Hold on. A lesson is, don't ever be too ashamed to be petty.
But it wasn't like,
no, be petty to win if you got to.
No, that is not the. Can we cut this mic off, because this is truth be told, and I am not putting that message out here. It's not about being petty. No, I'm not petty. I am not petty.
The point is, sometimes do what it takes to win. Is that what you're saying? But are you going to get the win? Is he going to get the win?
No, he
got the win. Jay Prince already called Drake and said, "Don't put."
It's over.
That don't mean he won. That mean they didn't want it to take.
And that just means that
Jay
Prince is And to me, this is, when you look at it like this, we really look at it. Whose career is going to benefit the most off of this whole thing? Obviously. So it's almost like we gambling. I got a couple bands. You got $5. We're gonna keep shooting dice back and forth all day. I don't really got no way to win in this thing.
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
I ain't got no way to win with this. I use that as an example because Drake don't even need to be. We're not in the same class. We're not in the same category. We don't do the same music. We don't do nothing the same.
Touched the nerve.
Who pushed it?
Push it did.
No, Drake taking up for his friends.
I think Drake. It's almost like this. Me and you friends, right? Yeah. But you're a comedian, and I'm trying to get my name out there. So I come to you and say, bro, let's do something, because I'm trying to get a name together, and we start going back and forth on, in the media. I'm gonna benefit. It's not really gonna help you out. I mean, you're looking out for me, good looking, but you ain't really getting nothing. The other dude's getting a come up. That's usually why you don't even respond to stuff like that.
All right. Well, enough of the tantics. That ain't the word I was
tantics.
Making up words.
This is truth be told.
Shenanigans.
We'll take that. Shenanigans is a word. Tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay. So I wanted to talk about, like, how our people say that they don't vote because our vote doesn't matter, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and most of the time when they're talking about that, it's like they're talking about the presidential election. Okay. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
Local votes too.
Or just talk for you. You can speak for yourself.
Yeah, in my mind, most people, when they say that, they are just talking about like the presidential election, and they feel
national
like we don't
election.
Would that be national? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess. But they feel like their vote doesn't really count or matter. Or
does it count?
Because
baby?
Probably not. Because you can like Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but then somehow Trump still ended up.
Not Hillary Clinton. Al Gore's been plenty of people who won the popular vote, but the electoral college. Is what you got to deal with.
No, but nobody can explain how to do it.
How that works?
You ain't heard of that?
I ain't never heard of electoral college. I mean, all these colleges now.
Truth be told, back in the day, that's what the whole Missouri-Kansas border war was about, shifting that electoral college so that the slave states could swing the majority. And technologies out here to where we can actually look at it and see the numbers. We can look and see who voted for who, where did it come from, and we just come to realize if you're not part of that two-party system, your vote probably really don't matter.
Yeah,
you got it. But they both.
That can get the voice of people that say don't vote, don't want to vote, or when they look at Hillary and Trump and see that represent what I You know what I mean? What
right. My morals, principles, values.
Like, you know, if Barack Obama, well, he would have had to have, you know, the system behind him. But if he would have, say, you know, a few years came out as an independent candidate, he'd be pretty popular right now. He wouldn't have to, you know, be behind Democratic. You know what I mean?
He'd still have to raise a lot of money, though. And you almost have to be an independent billionaire, so to speak, because to be inside of those parties, the parties raise the money for you. Yeah. But that's why you have to be loyal to that party. So whatever their agenda is, then you become part of that. Now, when you go independent, like a Ross Perot or something like that, you just got to have your own bread. But when and a lot of it.
Okay, well, my point wasn't to get on the presidential election, but was more so the local election, because y'all know I'm still mad about this firefighter. And I feel like...
Who made you, T-Baby?
I feel like...
Who made you?
I'm still upset about this firefighter.
Did you go out there and...
protest or something? No.
It was hot.
When did they do that?
They were talking about it, but, you know, I was like...
was I in the Bahamas?
Man, I don't know. I liked it. That's my support.
You liked
it. I would have.
He said, you know, I got these locks. I can't be out in that heat like that, sweating.
Man, I would have went.
But
I mean, I didn't know about it.
Is it two butts? But what?
Yeah, I don't.
What I'm saying is, you don't see what that had to do with the local election?
No, I was gonna say I didn't see like me being there just wouldn't affect. You know,
I ain't trying to just protest though, because y'all know I'm tired of just marching, and you know we got to really start doing more than that. He needs to be fired. He don't need to be having this salary no more. Like,
what you gonna do really about it, T, baby?
Well, I started to call the mayor. And
you want to talk to Sly?
I was gonna call him and try to figure out. And I found out who the fire commissioner and stuff was. But then I was just thinking, like, we just really need to start voting these people out of office. Like, if they're not doing what they need to do, like, we really need to come together and really think and research our local candidates and really participate in these local elections, because that's who sits in the national Senate and represent in House of Representatives and stuff like that. For us, we vote those people in there. So if we don't put our voice out there and we don't have no interest in who it is that's taking that seat, then we can't get mad when anything isn't being done for us.
We can get mad because it was
not really.
It was the plan. Like, growing up as kids, if anybody says something about, hey, who'd you vote for? Everybody was like, hey, we don't talk about that. You know, so we
don't discuss politics.
Yeah, we don't discuss
or
politics.
Religion.
Yeah, it's in people's
ingrained in people's DNA.
In contracts and stuff. It's in employee handbooks and things like that. So it was the idea.
It's a system. It's a system that's out there. And one thing that makes it real obvious for me is when you look at the church, right? So the church is a nonprofit. Most are 501(c)(3)s. And because they're a nonprofit, they can't tell you vote, don't vote, have this, that. So what has happened is through those nonprofits, I call it the controlling system has neutralized the places that actually activate consciousness in our community, which are these pockets of gatherings we used to call church, or, you know, these other events. Yeah. And so now, being part of the political system, we don't have no interest in it. We've been kind of cut out of it.
You lost me. How the church, what happened now?
Okay, so a pastor at a church, I'll be as plain as possible. Pastor at church might have a congregation, 200 or 300 people. And with that energy, he could do a lot of things. But by accepting the nonprofit title of a 501(c), he basically says, I'm not going to do anything that is we're going to separate church and state. So anything has to do with politics, anything has to do with voting, which has to do with public officials.
But affects what you're
exactly
what you're talking about.
Exactly.
How? They shouldn't need the church to tell them to vote.
No, but what I'm saying,
and the other thing,
you're saying they tell them don't talk about politics.
Yes, because we don't talk about that.
We're gonna just keep your mind on this right here, John 3:16, and anything outside.
That's probably their agenda.
That's what I'm trying to. That's my point. We've been duped and manipulated through our love of God and our devotion to our religion.
That's the older generation. Our generation and younger, we're not really in church like that.
Check this out.
No, but our people, the people that were in church,
thank you.
Told no politics. They
pass that down.
Ask your mama in the grocery store who you voting for. They're gonna look around and stuff.
Well, what happened is when mom and dad get taken out of the loop, then you can definitely believe their children are not going to have interest in politics and voting and stuff. So we're dealing with the children of the church, so to speak, because we don't really do that, but our grandparents did, and they got conditioned or programmed out of the political conversation.
Well, that's why we talking about it today.
It was actually a phrase. I forgot what movie was it. Was it Gangs of New York? But it was like the way they came up with the two-party system, where they said, "How can we get this 50% to fight with this 50%, so they don't see what we're doing here
back here?" Right.
That's the idea. Let y'all talk about that.
Right.
We gonna do this right here.
Absolutely. And so, like T Baby saying, we need to be more involved because they control us with the laws, with politics, with that. But they got this prison set up, so a lot of us are locked up. Them are non-voters.
But I want to talk about that too, because felons can vote.
I'm not saying not when you're incarcerated, you can't vote.
Well, stay out of jail.
Oh, T Baby. Oh, T Baby.
Yeah, he got on there and he said that like people don't do stuff to get themselves in jail.
People do, but there's people that don't do stuff.
Okay, but how many?
We got the statistics back now. This is not Nelson Hill talking. 38%. Google it. 30. It's like 38 to 33% of the people locked up are innocent.
That ain't enough. When it's 100, that means 70% of them deserve to be there.
Oh, no.
T Baby.
If anything, does anything happen by reason? How about this? Let's take it a little bit higher.
Let's go higher.
Does anything happen by reason?
Everything happens by reason.
Everything.
I think I know what you're trying to say, but slow down.
Okay, so by accident. Does anything happen by accident?
There are no accidents.
Exactly. So we don't know.
That's why we know the system is designed to do what it's doing.
But exactly, but still, you don't know what that spirit did to be incarcerated. You don't know what that spirit is being saved from being incarcerated, or their karma that got them incarcerated.
Okay.
We don't know that.
All right.
Look. Like
the numbers are overwhelming.
That people, I bet you it's more people outside of jail than it is in.
But you have a different perspective.
I bet you it's more brothers in prison than is in college.
I don't care about college either.
Okay, so what I'm trying to explain to you, it's not an accident. It's not an accident that we make up 12% of the population of the United States, but almost 50% of the people incarcerated.
Well, look.
We probably really way more than 12% of the population.
T Baby, as men, we about 4, and as a collective, we're about 13.
I doubt that.
Well, I mean, we can Google.
I agree with her. Stay out of jail. Thank you. Stay out of jail.
Who's trying to go to jail? Show of hands. Who's trying to go to jail? I don't think anybody out here is necessarily trying to go to jail. If you're doing something
that you know you're not supposed to be doing, you're trying to go to jail.
What, like reaching for your ID and the cops shoot you down? Or what? It's a lot of cases where brothers.
You have a biased opinion because nothing's happened to you.
You can't say that. You don't know me. I've been incarcerated before.
T Baby.
Was it your fault?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't been in no prison.
County jail don't count. But I've been to jail.
You ain't got no DOC number.
Yes, I've been wrongly convicted. Because just because I don't have a driver's license because the government say I should have a driver's license don't mean I did something wrong. So that's wrongly convicted.
Hey, she wins the argument. How about that?
I've been wrongly convicted. Okay.
It got wrong.
I got the right to travel.
So
hey, you're not at work. You're in what's the capacity?
No, what I'm saying is I'm not trying to say I understand we can always say, but we have this when you you can speak on their behalf. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying focus on what we have out here who listening to us. Because the people who listen, okay, yeah, they can't vote, but the people that's out here can vote and they not doing it. And at the same time, we need to try to spread an importance of why that's important and why they need to do that.
I think we understand that.
No, like people are here. Yeah,
college and jail is two different things.
But a lot of people have got this this conclusion. The thing is, what needs to happen is say
absolutely ball star
from school, from preschool, like that. People need to be taught about politics. People need to be taught about stuff.
I don't know if I want to teach my kids about politics.
And let me throw this out here because I think we got a misconception. Nobody is saying that we condone or don't condone going to jail. All I'm saying is there's certain things in place that keep our voting numbers lower. That's all I'm saying.
The only thing that keep our voting numbers lower is us not voting.
Well, that's true.
And the fact that there is something called a criminal justice system, and there's a educational system and an economic system that we're dealing with.
Because I try to be on my Diddy, my vote or die. You know what I'm saying? My rock the vote.
How's that going for you?
No, but for real, because we do got an election coming up August 7th. And the registration for that election, the vote to first thing is to get people registered. So that's the first thing I'm looking into is having a registering event before July 11th. The last day is July 11th to register. That way we be ready for the election on August 1st or August 7th. So basically just a lot of education. We can talk about it here on a couple of things too, is the offices that are coming up for election and the type of people that we really want to fulfill those offices and what they
We got to start off with a little education too. And the reason why I say that, because a lot of people don't even know what district they live in.
Right.
They don't know nothing about what you from the 4th district, 8th district, or what.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I really hate that they do that, because I don't want people out here claiming districts. Yeah,
Nah,
they try to turn everything into I'm 2nd district on mine.
Oh. Well, why your district looks so bad then? If you loving your district like you repping that hard, you need to get a playground or something for them kids running around. And then packs of loose dogs running. Get them up out the hood.
No, but it is important for us to educate and to find those things out. And I gotta admit, I'm
a little behind.
Yeah, because I don't know what district
we're
I
waking
live
up.
in. I don't even know if
you're
I can
supposed to know that. Can you really come on air? You don't know that? You got to know that, T.
I don't know what district I live in.
Who you voting for and why?
I'm not gonna say that.
Why not?
Because here's my thing. I'm not trying to
influence someone
else's opinion, or I don't want you to be like, oh, T Baby said she voting for Amita Dupree, so I'm just gonna vote for her.
Is that a candidate?
Yes.
Who's that? Where at?
See, we got to educate ourselves.
She got a show on KUAW called Criminal Law 101.
Before we just show up at the poll, we got to educate ourselves.
She is running for 2nd district legislative district, or whatever that is.
2nd district.
2nd district legislative something. Jurisdiction.
But the thing is, so this is a very good illustration of why we got to get ourselves together.
They set me up to say it.
When y'all went to go vote, like I'm pretty good with politics. I don't know all of it, but when I went, more than 70% of the stuff I ain't know nothing about. I ain't never heard of.
Right.
Well, what happens? This is what generally happens. Whatever side you are on, they usually tell you just vote all Democrat, vote all Republican, whatever. You might know one name on there, Judge Nelson, and whatever, and then you deal with it. But I'm with T Baby on this, because when we talk, and I pulled the criminal justice system in, obviously I got a lot of friends and family members and brothers and sisters that are still locked up. So I am their voice, I feel like, but we can actually vote out these judges and people that put us in there. So you got a judge that just has a track record of nothing but giving us long sentences, or we get in trouble, because we do get in trouble. But the thing I don't like is the one guy gets probation and then we get 60 months. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to get those type of politicians out of there, because even though a judge pretends like he's an officer of the court, he's really just a politician. And he's got to get voted in and out himself, unless he's on the Supreme Court.
And my thing, and I had told my lawyer friend, but I told her, I said, I'm trying to get up there to the point where even some of those type of things change. Like when you talk about Supreme Court judges and members of the Senate and seats on the Senate, like they really can be on the Senate until they die.
They be 99 years old.
99 years old. Like, brother, you know, they way of thinking.
Strom Thurmond, this dude was almost 100 years old. So, you know, when he was a young man, like for real physical bondage was happening. And then you got him up here, not necessarily creating laws, but being able to
voting on laws.
Well, they make decisions on laws.
They can stop them.
Right. Like there was this one thing, and I'm just throwing this in here because, you know, we have a spontaneous. So I'm watching my dude Meek Mill. Meek just went through his situation with the system, and he's trying to make some changes out there. But he said there's laws that have not been revised in so long, to where, say, if a female goes to prison or goes to jail and she is 9 months pregnant and she goes into labor, she's got to be handcuffed to the gurney while she's giving birth. Can you imagine 14, 15, 20 hours of labor, being handcuffed to a stretcher? And you might not even been committed a crime. You're just going to the county jail accused of a crime. And all of us are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And that's the other way how we get in jail. Let me just throw this out here. What happens with us, we get overcharged. Yes, we did break the window, but they charged us with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, breaking the window, felony, trespassing, this, and then you sit in jail
40 years.
Well, what happens is you go to county, and it takes 6 months for your trial to come up, and then by the time your trial, because they don't really want to run a trial with you, listen, we're gonna drop the trespassing, we're gonna drop the breaking the window,
but you got to plead
guilty to blank.
And that's how they get us. And they so young, they just doing it because they don't want to go to jail. You know, they think
you can get out.
They don't want to go to jail by plea, and they not even knowing what they pleading to. Now, and the next time you get in trouble,
you just upped yourself on the grid too, because now that's your second time.
Because you're not educated about what's going on, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like we, okay. So you remember back in the day when we had like the Black Panthers?
When I was young, and I'm not a kid anymore. Black Panthers.
The federal government infiltrated those
organizations. They did.
It's time for us to infiltrate their organization. Because the government right now, even though it's ours, the government is infiltrated. It's theirs. Right. They have control of it.
You said you don't want to influence. The only way we do that is by influence.
No, I'm just saying educate yourself.
She's saying break it down from the inside out.
Make your own decision.
But
vote. But have a decision. Make a decision. I don't want to tell you what decision to make. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't want to tell you what decision to make, but I want to encourage you to go do some research to make a decision.
You know who's getting ready to flip this whole government politic thing? These little European kids who's in these schools have been getting shot up. They are telling these politicians, we're going to be 18 in next year. We're going to be 18 in 2 years. And if you're not talking the language we want to hear, you getting voted out.
Well, that's because they know the power of vote.
That's what I'm telling you. You see who it is, and they are on a mass movement, taking tours from from one end of the nation to the other side, because of these school shootings. Now, this just started happening. Imagine if we said, okay, for 400 years, we're going to come together and go up to the White House or go to City Hall or band together and vote and cause effective change to public policy. We would be unstoppable. You got an example of some little teenagers that are on the news every night because they attacking the system, and they're doing it through politics.
We got to stop being afraid.
Yep.
Yeah, stop being afraid and be educated. Have the knowledge about it. And because a lot of times what I found was interesting about that felons can vote, because a lot of people you will hear, they say, when you become a felon, all your they take away all your rights and you don't have a right to vote. But I don't see that comment.
Well, some what comment?
No, let me see your phone.
Some states are different. You got different laws that are applicable in different states. In some states, you can get out of prison, but you also have to get off parole as well before you can vote. You can't be on paper like that. Then some you can get out and get back into it. So you just need to do your research, get educated on where you're at, and know the laws, know what you can do and what you can't do. But and 14, so when they're 18 and 19, they can be part of the system.
The school shootings helped push.
It's pushing an agenda. It's pushing an agenda.
The school shootings might mess around and be propaganda.
Well, it's pushing an agenda. Even if it is propaganda, it's still pushing an agenda. There's an agenda behind it, and
So BJ said, I'm just going to read it for how it is for all my listeners that know how I am. I'm just going to read it for how it is. I'm sure you guys can
read it in the spirit of BJ.
Black people can't overcome until more blacks actually open their eyes and see America for the slave system it is. It's built to keep us down, dependent on a job. We have to teach financial freedom from the jump. Now, I agree with some of that.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. With the end part of it. So a lot of people are under the perception that America, the United States of America, is an actual slave system. The government, the Constitution itself is a slave system. Okay, but let's look. Okay, so
I gotta hear this.
I'm saying that's the banking system. I don't know how you call that slavery. That's
Social
money.
Security. The reason we have Social Security cards is because of what war was it? I forgot what war it was.
Two.
But they said we'll finance your war, but which collateral?
That collateral, and that's been happening since the beginning. Before the go ahead. I'm with you on that. But I go back and research this. You can look it up. It says it's a thing out there online. It says all wars are banking wars. I'm talking about from the first war all the way to the last war is being financed by one group of people financing both sides.
Exactly.
And then when the sides fight. Exactly. And you're talking about Rothschild. We with you, bro.
Yeah, we know who he is.
But
But they see green. They her thing is white and green. It's not really, it ain't really black and white.
And it ain't even green no more. It's just a number inside of a, like when you look at your debit card and the number is on there, that's what, it's a chip. That's what they do.
Like, it's so, I see that as something, don't get me wrong, I know that that's going on, but I see that as something totally different than what we actually deal, what people like to, what they mean by when they say America, is built. Now, it was built on the back of slaves.
It's built on tolerance.
Yeah.
It's built
on
obedience.
I can't say that. But as far as the government and the actual Constitution, why I feel like it's very important to, I'm getting off on a tangent, but it kind of go into it. In schools nowadays, they don't teach kids cursive anymore.
And I got something that's going to lead right off of that. So go ahead.
They don't teach them cursive no more. They might teach them how to sign their name. But that's it.
I don't even think they teach them how to write their name in cursive.
And that's crazy because when I went to school, I learned cursive in school.
Well, the world is different now.
I know. But let me tell you why I think they doing that, though. Because if you don't know cursive, if you can't write cursive, you can't read cursive. If you can't read cursive, you can't read the original Constitution.
Or the Declaration of Independence.
Or the Articles of Confederation. Right. All that's in manuscript.
Or any of those treaties that was put together. That's right.
It's all in cursive. All you know is what somebody told you it said. You would not be able to read it for yourself, which is what we have to, keep that on. But all that stuff is built off of Masonic principles. That's all off Islamic. Like, it came from the Moors. The Moors was right here. What who they talking about? John Hanson. Is that his name?
John Hanson. Yeah, John Hanson that the Constitution of the United States was drafted.
It was all drafted by Moors. It was built by us for us, and we let somebody take over it and use it against us.
Well, there's also some other theories, right? So
that ain't a theory, though. That's fact.
Well, the theory is where you say we let somebody take it over from us and use it against us. The theory that was out there, and what she's talking about is, and she's right. If you look up most of the presidents of the United States of America, maybe except for maybe 3 or 4 of them, I think Barack Obama, obviously. Praise to Mecca, Medina. Most high-ranking Masons are Shriners, Fezzes. They go to the temple. They do those things. This is not a Christian necessarily organization. It's on some other things. But I'm not saying
Christians took it over either.
What I'm saying is that's who laid the foundation for the United States of America. And so you're dealing with those principles more so than I think what she's trying to say
Well, okay. What are you saying? Like the Shriners and the High Masonics built the Constitution? Because I'm actually saying Moors.
No, what I'm saying, what I'm saying is,
I'm not saying them, not the copycat.
Right, but I'm saying all the founding forefathers believed in those principles that were established by Moors.
If you see early pictures of paintings, like George Washington, paintings, not pictures, because they didn't have pictures then, but paintings.
That's right.
Most of them, there's a Moor
with the
next to him
with the turban on,
with a turban or a fez,
standing there
with your same complexion,
looking just like me, my great grandpa.
You and I
got that copper tone.
Yeah,
I'm copper tone.
And a lot of people are not educated. A lot of people don't know that, so they think that it's actually built against us when it's actually built for us.
Or they feel like they think that's a slave in the picture. Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah, you gotta educate yourself because it's not a slave. Right. Because my thing of it is another thing that keeps us. So the word black, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what keeps it.
You ain't getting your phone back either.
No, because it got different comments than what's on here. But I'm gonna tell you now. I want to see my phone because I might got different comments. I don't know. Here, just tell me if another one pop up. But the word black, and this is why I be so against the word black. Okay, and I'm just gonna tell y'all this
T-baby?
Because the word black, okay.
Slow down, T-baby.
Yes. Acknowledge because I can
see this is a very a topic that's very close to your heart.
It is because people don't understand, and we need to wake up about it so we can quit dealing with they're trying to hold us down or anything like that. When really you holding yourself down. You holding yourself down by clinging to the names of black and by calling people white and everything like that. Because if you look at Roberts Black's Law Dictionary, which is Roberts Black, not because he's a black man, but his last name is Black, that wrote it. He would tell you that black and white is a status according to the Constitution.
According to the law.
According to the law.
Which the Constitution is the highest law of the land.
That's a status. Just like playing a game of chess.
Okay.
Which is also Masonic principles. If y'all look it up.
So how come the white piece get to go first? No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
I mean, but they represent a different class. That's why they tell you that everything black is evil. They tell you a black cat is evil. They tell you black magic is evil. They have you thinking that voodoo is evil.
Black sheep, black ball, black
everything
ice.
Black. They try to tell you,
right.
Then you turn around and call yourself a black man. What kind of stuff is that? How
or
you do
a black
that?
Woman.
Or a black woman. I'm sorry. But call your brother that or call your child that? Like how you turn around and do that when everything associated with the word black is evil?
Out of ignorance.
And you don't educate yourself about that. But when you
so
know that type of stuff, then you know how to use the Constitution to your benefit.
But it goes back to that like slavery is a choice thing, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know that and you keep diluting the names that
people told you was because somebody told you so.
To slavery.
Because somebody told you that's who
we got to get out of it. And look at it like this. At one point in time, we were all Negroes. We all accepted that title. Yeah, this is the Negro Baseball League or the Negro League or the Negro this or the Negro that.
And we didn't want to be Negroes no
so then we stopped. And then we was colored.
Or African.
And then it was colored first.
Okay.
It was colored. Negro first, then colored.
Then African.
And then we all was colored. Then little colored boy. We don't serve coloreds in here. Everything was colored. That's what lets you know it's a lie because it keeps changing. Then it went to African American. And so we know that ain't real. And so now we just back to black again, I guess. Is that what's up? I don't know.
He said so black is bad because they said it's bad. No, black ain't bad because they say it's bad. Anything, a word cannot be bad or good. First of all, words don't have those type of definition. It's a word. So no, I'm not saying black is bad because they said so, but I'm saying for you to call yourself black will be ignorant.
What should we call ourselves besides brown?
Well, that's why Asiatic.
That's just too many
syllables. Do you not tell me that's too many syllables? Oh my God, look at the teacher looking at you.
If I said be right back, it's BRB.
45 minutes over here. We ain't no microwave person, okay?
How's a rapper gonna put Asiatic into your song? Can you do it?
No.
You gotta get my new project. You gotta get my new project.
No N-word or nothing like that. But why do you gotta say it? Why do you gotta say it anyway?
Thank you.
You said what?
Why you gotta say it anyway? Why do you gotta use black? Why you gotta use the N-word? Why do you have to say that? Use different words.
How am I supposed to?
When it says race, your race is human. Your race is human. I write other and write human. My race is human. It's only one race, and that's human.
I wouldn't hire that person.
Oh well, I had plenty of jobs.
You're not gonna hire a human?
I had plenty of jobs. I've had plenty of jobs. Stress, and I'm not. And I'm a stress. I'm the type of person when I got my passport, I was worried about what it was gonna say because I might not have been able to go on my trip. But luckily, they had it pretty okay.
See, this is the other thing too.
Your license doesn't have a race on it.
The other thing too is when we're talking about voting, we're talking about making systemic change. As long as we are kind of, clinging to these names, that kind of lets them know where we are as a collective. And so if we're really trying to change a step, we got to come out, we got to shed that old skin. And that's like an old skin that we wore for a long time. And so it's time to come off of that because that's going to affect our political power. It's going to affect our economics. It's going to affect everything.
Right. It's how you view yourself.
Exactly. And so when you realize that you're not black, it gives you another perception of self. And right now, everything is about how you perceive yourself, self-esteem.
What if you perceive your black as beautiful, as
good? That's cool too. It is beautiful.
I love it. But see, that's the problem. It's problem though, because the problem is this: if we walk into a room and it's 10 brothers, right? And I say, "What is the definition of black? What does black mean?" One brother's gonna say, "Black is beautiful." Another's gonna say, "The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice." Another person gonna say black according to science means death. Another person gonna say black according to the dictionary means this. So we're gonna come back with 10 different definitions. That's confusion. And so when you got a people that are confused, you can do whatever you want with them. You don't even know what black means. This is black. This here is black. Right. We're just gonna be technical.
My shirt
right?
Black.
So if I put my arm next to T-Baby's shirt, that's not the same. So for you to accept a bald-faced lie in your face, that means brainwashed. Brainwashed.
Oh, they not.
There's nobody. And if it is,
the colors,
and And if it's
you think of olive because
it's not a color, it's a hue.
It's a hue of skin, but it's olive because olive goes from one end of the spectrum all the way to the other. You can have a white, it comes in the middle. You can be brown, it can be green, it goes all the way to black. That's why the hue of your skin is really olive, because a man can't be colored. Some painted, stain, varnish, or dye. The more you know. But yeah,
see there.
But I want to talk about so BJ, because I really want to help him understand where I'm coming from before we close out here, because I know we ain't got that that much time. But I'm just saying, okay, so
what
listen,
is BJ saying?
And our skin color is not black when we different shades of brown. Oh, okay.
Okay,
so
perfect.
BJ said, no, that was Danita. Real quick, DJ said, I'm really trying to understand your viewpoint on the government. It sounds like I'm turning my back on being black because everybody else in the country doesn't like it. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What you got to understand is tying to the name
and then
of
let
black.
me jump in on this one.
Tying yourself to the name of black. Can you read that comment real fast while I see?
He said, why does it matter?
Okay. So listen, okay, because we're talking about going to court. We're Olive. There you go. We're talking about going to court, right? Are you getting caught up in the legal system? Now, have y'all seen how these officers been going? Let me tie it into some news real quick, because have y'all seen how these officers been getting off of not getting charged when they kill one of us? Because they have, when you see the paperwork, it says, oh, this person is a black descent, which means they have no citizenship. Black in the Constitution, in your 14th Amendment, makes you 3/4 of a person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, exactly. That's how they getting off killing you, because therefore, according to the Constitution, if you consider yourself black, you're not even a whole person. So therefore, they can do whatever they want to do to you without any consequence. Now, if you go in there and I'm a Moorish American, which is in the Constitution, which is in the Treaty of Mecca. Is it Mecca?
It's a
peace treaty of
friendship. I think
no,
it's a friendship treaty or a peace treaty between Morocco and America.
But go ahead.
I'm saying, but if we just, like I said, we're having a conversation. If there's other things that can be talked about. There's other things that we can do. Say that rather than say attack black. Or try to do.
But
let me throw this at you.
Education.
A lot of people say, well, why can't I be black, or why can't I be? So let me ask you, what was you before you was a Negro? What was you before you were black? See, that title got put on you at one point in time, a finite point in time in history,
1619.
right? So we came into that in the 1600s. So obviously, if we were something prior to that, why wouldn't we want to be what we've always been? See, a man cannot be anything other than what his descent nature is. God made you a certain way. That's who you've always been. And God didn't create black people. He didn't create white people, red people, brown people, or yellow people. He created the human family. Yeah. And why is it put in a class? So you bottom of the barrel.
Hey, they like Drake. Started from the bottom, now we here.
So when you but there's also been a role reversal that a lot of people don't see. White really means black. This is crazy. When you look at vanilla, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know what color vanilla really is?
It's black.
Okay, when you know the word blanco in Spanish, because that's where the word negro came from. Spanish. It's a river in South America that was named by Moors because it contained black water. So the word blanco, which kind of really would be, you would think means black, blanco really means white, right? Yeah. And so there has been a role reversal. You really was the white guy. They was the black guy, but it switched. And then they made a classism. And if you ever look up Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she has a book called The ISIS Papers, and she talks about genetic annihilation. And it talks about why these classes are set up. Because if we are all able to do that thing that Martin Luther King talked about, little black boys and little white girls hold hands and this and that and all that good stuff, guess what? There will be no more white people, because they will be amalgamated back into the family of hue.
But let's say this, you know, like say first 400 years it was the white folks. Say black, if we keep black in the next 100 years,
okay,
can't we bring that up and change?
Well, this is my thing, is we limit our thinking. So we're talking about 500 years. You know how long we've been on this planet?
Way longer than that.
You know how long? We just got that status since we lost our little power, and they threw that title on us. And so we've been around way more than 400-500 years. In fact, this little civilized world, you know, Egypt stayed in power for over 2,000 years, right? If you know anything about Egypt, right? we're judging time based on about 500 years, maybe 400 or 500 years, right? And so it's thousands of years that have gone by before we took on this mentality and got into this kind of thinking of who we are. How are you gonna let somebody else define you when you are the original man? I can't understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna read this whole comment, but he basically saying whether you want to agree that you are black when you walk out the door, you're gonna be black regardless. When I walk out,
okay, let me address that.
Okay, go ahead. But that's not arguing because I'm not black.
Right. It's a mentality.
That's black. This black. I'm not black. You can call me black if you want to, but I'm not black.
Right.
100 feet.
Right.
Talking or whatever. That's black.
Well, I mean,
if nobody ever told us what we were, if we would look at us and then see white people, we'd say, "Are we black?"
No, we would not.
Why they not black?
No, we would not.
Who would say that?
Who would?
Because
say
they not white.
Exactly.
What would we say then?
How do we define them?
Why does color matter though? It really shouldn't. And I like this because Baller Star said race doesn't matter.
Ball Star,
which it really doesn't, because we're all human. So it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter whether I'm lighter than you or darker than you, because they're just a lighter version of us.
There shouldn't be school shootings. There shouldn't be.
Man, you taking it too far, but it's always gonna be stuff like that. It's always gonna be stuff like that because this is a plane of manifest.
We talked
so that
about
stuff
it.
Is gonna be there.
You said, does anything happen by chance or by an accident? No, everything happens on purpose for a reason. And so this status, this condition is for a reason. The blessing why I'm happy is because I think we're coming out of it. Just the fact that we having the conversation. It's about time for
Can I plug this show real quick?
No.
Go ahead, bro.
Nah.
Real quick, you got 1 minute.
June 28th. Yeah. June 28th. Hosted and put on by my homie Kevin Rode. Featuring headliner is Kool-Aid. He's touring.
Come on, quick.
Terrence Berger and I'll be on there. I think it's a few other people.
That's what's up.
So it's gonna be a pretty good show. June 20th at the Juke House, starting at 8.
We're gonna make sure we support that, bro.
All right, BJ and Boss, I appreciate, and Danita, I appreciate y'all walking out with us in the comments. We gotta go.
Love.
We're gonna try to get back to him. Go ahead.
Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother hath given you suck. Bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all, and your love to each other. Peace.
Peace.
I was gonna time it, but I didn't time it good. My piece.
What?
I was gonna time the piece.
Oh, your piece.
When I look at her, you supposed to just get your ready.
Well, see, I was like, there it is. Nope.
Like, on the show, they just more people coming on. We out, y'all.
Oh.